Hey, well, Opshop have had a super busy year so far. They've had the day where they had 10 gigs in one day in their own plane. They did the Pins and Needles tour. They've been working on the new album, and this week it is released. It's their third studio album called Until the End of Time. And I've got Jason from Opshop right here with me. How are you?
That's me.
That's you.
Hi.
Now, how does it feel about to release this album this week? Do you get kind of butterflies like the birth of a child almost, you know?
Well, last time I gave birth it did feel like that. Yeah, slightly different. You know, a bit of throw up and stuff going on prior to it. And I have had that this time. I have had a bit of throw up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool though, like I regurgitated and I swallow it back. So, you know, you gotta own it, you know?
A little bit nervous though, perhaps?
I am actually pretty nervous. Oh, yeah. Well, am I?
Well, because the last album was
I'm excited, I think. I think it's the same emotion with different distinctions at different times. But, yeah, the last album, sorry.
Well, the last album, you had TUIs, you had Silver Scroll Awards, it was massive, the post-shop ad. Do you have that sense of everyone's expecting something massive and you're nervous about that, or? I
don't know that they are.
Right.
Well, I hope not, because it's nothing like it.
Okay, yeah.
You know, it's a real, not a complete and absolute departure from what we've done previously, but I certainly feel like we've evolved and we've done some interesting stuff on this.
Well, let's talk about, the album title, Until the End of Time. It's quite apocalyptic sounding. You've got the imagery for your latest video clip, Pins and Needles, which is all kind of esoteric / just madness, you know?
Yeah.
Is there a theme through the album about
Yeah, there is. Let's go with the title first. Until the End of Time, we actually thought it was quite romantic.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of flips that whole devastation and catastrophist doom and gloom thing on its head, because what it really is about is looking at this age, this time that, you know, there seems to be a huge spotlight on prophecy and ancient cultures talking about this period as being the end times. And really, you know, when you look at what they're actually talking about, they're talking about this thing that's called the precession of the equinox that actually does come to a finish. It's a whole astrological cycle that completes a 26,000 year cycle.
That's
that
amazing.
Ends but also begins the very next day, so the 22nd of December. So it's not like we're not going to have a 22nd of December or 2013 or 2030 for that matter.
What's going to happen?
Well, I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I've read a lot of various versions of what people say is going to happen, but I think the interesting thing for us in terms of being artists is to be relevant and take in what's going on around us, and it's kind of sense of alchemy, really, you know, taking that stuff that's going around the air and trying to put it into what our music is. And so, you know, when we look back on it, hopefully it marks that moment in time.
Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking about, like, in the video clip, it's all, things are falling down, it's all quite dark looking. You've got the symbols, like what? That was one of the symbols.
What? Yeah, I just that's, you know, I need to get like some Spock stuff happening, because Yvonne was going, can you do some movements or something, Jerry?
Yeah, right.
And I'm going, man, I haven't really, no one's ever said, can I do some movements?
I was thinking maybe it was Westy, but that's...
I just kind of thought that's, you know, Spock.
It looked cool though.
Yeah.
It looked super cool.
I reckon Spock's cool.
So,
always has been, always will be.
I suppose you're at the point now where you've done really well for yourself. Would you say that this album allows you to maybe have a political platform to say what you really want to say now that you've become quite successful?
No, I think for us, if people actually start looking back on a huge collection of work that we've done over the years, our 2 records, they'll actually see that a lot of that stuff is just, well, this record is a continuation of a lot of that stuff anyway.
Right.
As much as having the fee ratio or the golden spiral on the first album cover and all that stuff that encapsulates, and, you know, and using Noam Chomsky on the first record, and
for sure, yeah.
You know, just there's like that kind of stuff's always been in there, and we've never kind of been jumping up and down necessarily about it all. But I just think once again it behooves us to be relevant in our time and culture, because we're artists and that's our job.
Yeah, and I suppose since the last album, so many things have happened. You've, you know, marriage, 2 babies in the Opshop family.
Oh, phew, I was going to say 2 babies. Man, I can't remember that. That must have happened real quick for me. Yeah, 2 babies in the Opshop family, that's right. Yeah, so Matt's a dad and Clint's a dad, and they're such good dads. And so that stuff's also in the record as well.
Yeah. So, do you find it hard? You're a rock star here, you know, you've got family, children here, you know, the world here. Is it a bit of a juggle, like juxtaposition, also putting it all together, or how do you find it?
I'm not big on the whole rock star mental thing anyway, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
About as close as I get is wearing sunglasses, but I'm just trying to be like Dane Rumble like everyone else, you know. That's pretty much my thing. I can't quite get the hairdo happening, but other than that, no. Look, we just get on with our job, and that's what we try to do. And you know, I guess in terms of the family stuff and all the ancillary stuff that's around being a musician and a working musician in this day and age, is that you do end up putting some of that stuff into your music. There's a song on the record called "Love Will Always Win" that I remember when we sat down to write the song. We were having one of those days in the studio where we had a big space called Opville, and we thought, you know, what are we going to write today? Because you kind of have those days, you clock in and go, well, what are we actually going to do today now?
Yeah.
You know, what art are we going to make? And we thought, well, let's write a song that when we look back on it, the kids, you know, Ethan and Jack, that's Clint and Matt's kids, will hear a message in there, hopefully, and will know that we were thinking of them way back when. A bit of, you know, time dilation, travel stuff. Not really, but it sounded weird anyway. So I said to Clint, actually, I said to Matt, you know, what is a memory from this whole, for lack of a better phrase, gestation period with your partner that really resonates with you? And he said, well, the one thing that he could think of right then and there was when he put his ear to his partner's tummy and actually hear Jack's heartbeat before he was called Jack.
Yeah.
But how cool is that?
That's
you know,
amazing.
it's like, wow, that is actually like listening to life through your partner. It's amazing. And so that got put into a song. I hear your heart beating through his skin. The world's not perfect, but it's better than with you. It's better than it's ever been. You know, so really the whole record is looking at life and the gorgeousness of it, the beauty of it, and not necessarily this whole apocalyptic, scary thing. You know, and with Clint, I said, so Clint's in another band altogether. I said, so what? You know, what about you, man? He goes, well, can I have like Luke Skywalker in there or something? I was like, no, I don't know if Lucasfilms would let us get away with that kind of stuff, but what if I said, and I was like, I had to think about it for a while, what about Anakin Skywalker? And he's like, Anakin Skywalker? And I said, yeah. You know, what if I said, we'd be closer than any kin, closer than anyone any kin ever before? And he goes, nice. So anyway, so that's...
It's a little subtle thing that slipped in.
Anakin, anyway, trying to be, you know, inclusive.
So a few little messages then subtly hidden
Yeah,
throughout.
you know, it's all part of it really, eh? Just trying to bring whatever's going on in our lives to it, and as I say, make it as relevant for ourselves and the community as well.
Right, well, thanks heaps for coming in, Jace.
My pleasure, my friend. My
we'll do
pleasure.
one last plug for the album, which is Opshop until the end of time, in stores this week, and we're going to go to the first video that was released from it, called Pins and Needles, directed by, what's his name?
His name is Ivan Slavov.
I couldn't say that. Righto, check it out.